welcome back to the iRacing British Touring Car Championship, round 30, the final round from Brands Hatch GP on BSR TV with me in the commentary box, Chris Cohen, joined by Clyde Whiting. Hello, Clyde.
Good evening, everybody.
And hopefully, in a few moments, joined by Matt Dalton. I'm not sure if he's back yet, is he? Doesn't appear he is. So, one more round to go, about 3 minutes from the grid now, and our champion has already been decided, which is not the most dramatic end to the final race, I suppose, but Andreas Katz, it's the second page of the, let's bring up the first page of the scores instead of the second page, that would help. Andreas Katz, who came into this meet this evening with a 45-point advantage, has now got enough points in the bag to secure the victory, and maybe we'll be able to get a word with him after this race, hopefully, and get his feedback, his thoughts on what has been a pretty hard-fought season. But the pressure's off for these two guys at the top now, Clyde, Katz and Chapelewski.
Yeah, Katz obviously worthy winner, coming to the final rounds, just needing to drive sensibly, which he's done, secured the championship, but this could be the most exciting race of the season because there's nothing up for grabs now.
And Coba Lopez has taken 2 of the 3 races already, 2 victories out of 3. He's starting 10th on the grid, but realistically, what's his chances of getting past some of the sort of big guns, if you like?
I think if anybody can do it and win 3 races in the same meeting, you're looking at Coba Lopez.
Well, I'll have to see in about a minute and a half. There's the likes of Sutton, who is going to be starting 3rd on the grid, I believe. That's a reverse grid, of course, so if you won the last race you start 10th. If you came 10th you're starting on pole. It's going to be a tough proposition, isn't it, because we've already seen some pretty big accidents. It's not the most accident-free circuit, and it's not the fastest guy at the front, so it's going to be a natural traffic jam to it.
There's some top guys between Coba Lopez and 3 wins in the same meeting, but as we've already seen, accidents do happen round here. It's quite easy to take 5, 6, 7 cars out in one accident, could shoot in from 10th to 3rd and a chance at winning all 3.
And famously, last time out at Brands Hatch Grand Prix, in the final meet of the last season, we saw evening, Matt.
Don't mention the attempt at commentary from the guy in car.
No.
He was an idiot and he's never done it again since.
No, I can't remember who that was, so I won't even mention it. So we saw Coba Lopez get out of shape at Druids and basically pile up the entire field, which was interesting, to say the least. Let's hope that doesn't happen again, by any of the drivers, not just him, coming down into Druids. And, well, the last race of the season, still all to play for some drivers, don't forget. They're going to be competing for their respective places in the championship. And we spoke to Laura Bond just at the end of the last race, and she was in 12th, but the more points she can grab here, the better chance she's got of getting in the top 10. It's not entirely impossible for her to do that. Also, that battle between Stevens and Terry, which we haven't been paying attention to very much during the races this evening so far, we don't know how that one's going to play out yet, do we?
Not even in the slightest.
Well, Coba Lopez will be 10th on the grid as the cars begin to line up for the final round. I don't even know who took 10th place in that last race, so I can't tell you who's on pole. Dan Hunt is on pole. He's your pole position man. Thanks, Matt. He has not made his way onto the grid yet. And is that who's that in second place with the Speedworks? Not doing very well here, am I?
Robert Fagg.
Robert Fagg in second place. That's Ash Sutton actually starting for 4th on the right hand side in the green car. Katz starting from about 8th place, and that's Coba Lopez behind him in the red and white USA machine. Field lines up on the left hand side in the number 7 Wix Racing machine. That's the yellow and black one, and here we go, we've got some lights. We're ready to go racing. Remember, the blue mirrors belong to Dan Hunt, and he is going to take us off pole position here. And we're green. The final round of the iRacing British Touring Car Championship is underway. Dan Hunt leads the field away. Good start from Sutton though, already challenging on the outside. Robert Fagg tucks in behind as we come through Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Oh, and there's contact in the back. That's Mark Hewitt. Mark Hewitt's backwards. He's taken out one of the CQRs. That's Russell Laidler as well, and that's all gone wrong. How unfortunate as well for Laidler. And Hunt's lost a load of positions already. Hunt's got mugged at Druids.
Laura Bond got caught in that as well, so she's lost some places. And it's Rob Fagg.
Robert Fagg leading this race then, who took second position. But it's saying second. It is first. Don't know what's wrong with this timing this evening. But that is Adam Terry just behind, and Ash Sutton, who is in third place now. What a shame for Dan Hunt though. Oh, and Lopez is sideways. Oh, good save from Lopez.
That was Koba Lopez getting into the side of Dan Hunt a little bit. Dan Hunt's been kicked in like the geeky kid on his first day of school, hasn't he? He's been had a right mug in there on the first lap, so...
Yeah, it's a shame. I'm wondering if we can go back to that start. Oh, Hewitt's off again. Hewitt's into the barriers. So let's go back to the start and just see if we can work out what happened to Mark Hewitt. That's not far enough back, but just coming off the line here into Paddock Hill Bend, we've got a slow eBay car, and I think that's Steve Richardson. Slow on the apex, and Hewitt's lost control of the car, too heavy on the brakes. But he's spun off and then come back onto the track. Makes contact with Laidler, who can't get out of the way. Is that Hefford just behind? And he's causing all sorts of problems.
I think he hits the left rear quarter panel of Laura Bond as well, and that's what happened to her. And yeah, bit wild, but that happens.
It's just his inability to get off the track safely. Maybe he had no control over that car, but he stopped it right on the racing line, which is unfortunate.
Yep. Meanwhile, at the front here, we've got Rob Fagg trying to do a disappearing act, while Adam Terry has now got his rear wing mirrors completely full of Ashley Sutton, and we've already seen Ashley Sutton's overtakes on this track, so I would think that one's not going to last long.
Let's go on board with Ash Sutton then. Coming through Hawthorns again. Terry looks a bit uncertain through Hawthorns, and this might be where he It's going to tuck in behind just for now. So Terry's second position is under threat. Fagg getting away at the front a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Ashley Sutton taking an awful lot of curb. I think he may... Will he get a slowdown there? Yeah, he has. He's picked up a slowdown penalty. So I thought he might have taken an awful lot of curb there. That's going to kill his chances.
Well, what a shame. And Koba Lopez almost didn't get out of the way of the very slow Ashley Sutton there, and manages to get round him in the end. He is now in 9th position, so only made up one grid position. Katz is in front of him.
What a penalty this is. He's still having to slow down. Well, that's ruined his race completely.
Well, it's not normally that long, so I wonder what might have happened there. You don't...
That's
I mean, you generally lose a few positions. Oh, and who's that off in the gravel there? Is that Jerome Kaiser? Yeah.
That is one of the most brutal slowdown penalties I've ever seen. That's stupid, frankly, but there we go.
That's ruined Ashley Sutton's race. He's now down in 14th position. Dan Hunt, meanwhile, made his way up to 7th position there. Just checking that. That's Katz in front of him and Lopez behind him. You wouldn't want to be in that sandwich, would you?
No.
Well, we'll see how long Dan Hunt can hold on behind, ahead of Koba Lopez, rather.
That's three guys, Chris. I'm not sure that's a sandwich most of us would want to be in, to be honest.
Possibly not. You might be right there. Koba Lopez right on the back of that eBay Motors machine. It won't be long before that position falls. And, well, you know, Dan Hunt has the potential to surprise us all here. We've seen Koba Lopez be more patient than we expected. And I don't think he's going to be patient for very long, considering he's down in 9th position. Hoog down in 10th. I say down in 10th. It's
not as appealing a prospect as Laura Bond, Danica Patrick and Susie Stoddart, is it?
Possibly not. I feel your mind has drifted slightly from the racing. Oh, and into the pits. Hoog's into the pits. You don't think he took on...
Yeah, he may have short-filled it and not put enough fuel in. Richard Wilde doing a good job here with Simon Field all over the back of him.
Well, let's see how long this stop is from Hoog there.
Somebody just disappeared, I think.
Hoog is fuelling. And he's changing tyres as well. It's interesting.
Chepelewski trying to cruise up to the back of Adam Terry. Surprisingly not making much ground into the back of Robert Fagg here, are they? They're
no, we've got a slow
run at the front.
Wicks Racing car. That's Mark Hewitt. Oh, he's a back marker, so he's just letting everyone through. Well, he slowed right down. Good for him. Terry in second. Fagg is leading this race after 4 laps, and Chepelewski is under threat from Richard Wilde for 3rd place.
Yeah, he's on fire, Rob, at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's got a... Well, I don't have any intervals on my screen. I was going to tell you what the gap was, but we don't... We seem to have lost that information.
1.067 is what I've got. Well, that's probably wrong by now.
It's a very accurate gap you've got for us there. The top 5 aren't separated by much on the circuit. That much is for sure. I wonder what happened to Hoog though. That's a shame to lose
yeah,
him.
I think he's got to have short-filled it, hasn't he?
And I suppose you might as well fill up at any time during the race. I don't know if maybe Clyde can get confirmation of that for us. That would be fantastic if he can. It did seem like he changed tyres as well, which is what's confusing me. So, coming down the field a little bit. I still don't have any
not so much a race as an entering the twilight zone, this one, isn't it? It's
yeah,
a bit difficult to try and figure out exactly what's going on all over the place. Rob Fagg still, meanwhile, pulling away at the front.
1.7 seconds now, the gap.
Half a second, yep.
And Nils Jordan is battling for 15th.
Richard Wilde having a go at Chepelewski. Not going to work there.
Well, let's cut back to that 15th place battle between Saltalamacchia and Nils Jordan. Nils Jordan down the inside into Druids. Takes the position, gets the job done. Didn't look like a great deal of resistance from Saltalamacchia, who hasn't had a great record for finishing a lot of races so far, so we'll want to just keep it on the track, most likely. At the front, though, Robert Fagg, he races in a number of series using this car, and the strength of... takes a lot of curb as well at Sheens, but it seems to be okay. But the strength of having a lot of practice in this car really pays off, doesn't it, in terms of lap time?
Yeah, definitely. And I tell you what's surprising me in this race so far is Coba Lopez hasn't made an awful lot of progress, has he?
Well, he's passed Katz, so that's his first major hurdle. So Katz obviously not needing to defend. He doesn't care about the points now, but still no pushover. And Coba Lopez has got past him, so he's up to 6th. The gap's now 1.3 seconds to Simon Field ahead of him, but wouldn't that be a great battle between him and Field and Wilde and Chepelewski?
Yeah, Richard Wilde making his own lines up at the moment. He's trying to fill his car full of gravel.
On the defensive as well from a charging Simon Field, who's really recovered well from 13th place, don't forget.
Update on Stefan Hoog, guys?
Please, yeah, go ahead, Clyde.
Yeah, what happened was he got a slowdown penalty, closely followed by a 33-second stop and go, which I can only presume was for not doing his slowdown penalty.
Wow, what a shame. We did think it was fuel, but we've been proved wrong there, so that just goes to show what happens if you try and defy iRacing's slowdown system.
Yep. I mean, Ashley Sutton got absolutely smashed by that in the first lap, didn't he?
He did indeed, and he's no longer running in this race, so he obviously feels like he'd lost too many positions to be worth carrying on, which is a great shame. Dan Hunt, meanwhile, still running in 8th place, just coming into the view now on the screen. He's about 5 seconds behind the lead pack, but still running very well. I mean, he's in a good points-paying position there. But Robert Fagg, 2.3 seconds in the lead now, is just beginning to run away with this.
Lead, isn't it? Yep. Coba Lopez, meanwhile, we must have wound him up by mentioning him in commentary, because he's cruised right up onto the back of Simon Field at a rapid rate of knots, so he's going to be making his presence felt fairly soon. But I am surprised that Chepelewski's not been able to get past Adam Terry, and that, you know, Rob Fagg, meanwhile, is just driving away from all of them at the front.
He might well realise that the battle is now over, so it doesn't matter too much. Who knows, but this is making for an exciting 5-car battle for 2nd place. Field still unable to get past Richard Wilde, who is currently in 4th. Coba Lopez is running in 6th place. He seems unlikely to win this one from here, it has to be said.
I'm not going to make a prediction like that in this series.
Well, That would be a turn up for the books. But that iRacing racing machine looking fairly pristine, which you haven't seen it in that condition for the last 2 races. So that's good to see. And Simon Field now under real threat from Kobe Lopez. He's got one eye on the blue and white Welch Motorsport machine of Richard Wilde up in front, and one eye behind to Kobe Lopez, who is on a bit of a rampage. I mean, you said you didn't make that much progress, but he really has caught up with these guys now.
Yeah, he's ripped up to the back of him very quickly, isn't he? And I'll say props to Adam Terry as well. He's doing a really good job there running in second. These guys behind him. Of course, the guys behind, when they're all that close, does mean that they perhaps won't make moves they otherwise would have. You know, because if they do make a move and get it wrong, you're liable to get jumped by the guy behind you yourself.
Kobe Lopez thinking about down the inside, but thinks better of it. Oh, and side by side now, Chepalewski with Adam Terry. Chepalewski's got the inside line coming down into Druids. There's contact. Terry does not yield any kind of room there, and Richard Wilde's into Adam Terry now as well. Yeah, Kobe Lopez down the inside of Wilde into Graham Hill. Wilde's trying to go around the outside. He's taken way too much grass there. Side by side, still down into Surtees. Wow, what's going to happen here? Kobe Lopez on the inside for Surtees. Richard Wilde's going to have to let that one go, I think. Now Simon Field trying to come up the inside. Well, it's all kicked off now. Side by side, Simon Field, Richard Wilde. Field's got the outside line as well for Hawthorns. Meanwhile, Katz is right behind this group.
Can we just go back to your comment, Chris, about Kobe Lopez can't win it from here?
Yeah, maybe we should, because he's up to 4th now. And Field does not...
2 laps to go. I think your prediction's safe, Chris. I think you're...
Well, 2.6 seconds is the gap from 2nd place to the 1st place Speedworks car of Robert Fagg. But that all started, Matt, with a mistake from Adam Terry.
Yeah, squeezed too hard on turn 1 there. That was a little bit silly, really. I think you didn't need to try and run Chepalewski up onto the barriers like that. It was, you know, Stelly had already got himself there. That move was pretty much done and dusted, so I'm not quite sure what that was about, but still.
And then more contact with Richard Wilde on the exit.
For his own trouble, didn't he? So
he did. Yeah, it was a shame for Adam Terry. He's only lost 1 place out of this, though. Goes very defensive into Druids here with 2 laps to go. Kobe Lopez won't get round the outside at Druids. But they're going to be side by side now coming into Graham Hill, and that's a good opportunity for Lopez to get a good exit on the run down to Surtees here. He's on the inside. He's not quite got the...
No, I think he has.
Just about. Terry's wise to it. Okay, he's gone wide.
But Terry turns in again there. That's a strange one.
That was very wide from Kobe Lopez there. I wonder if we can take another quick look at that one, because... Well, let's not look at the replay at the moment, because we've got now Katz trying to go around the outside of Kobe Lopez at Hawthorns, and that's Simon Field has lost out to Andreas Katz already, so we missed that one.
Yeah, and I have to say, I have to apologise to Adam Terry. He did just take his normal line there, and that was just Kobe Lopez being a bit too late. So
Field side by side with Kobe Lopez. How has Lopez lost out to Field there? Fantastic move from side. Oh, Katz has run wide. Katz has run wide now. He's given up the position to Lopez, who's down the inside of Field into Sterling's. He's round the outside as they round out this lap, and this is a fantastic battle between 3 of the top drivers in this series, and this is only for 5th place.
Yeah, I was going to say, all of that battling behind is music to the ears of Rob Fagg, isn't it? He's out for a leisurely Sunday drive, yeah?
Well, Katz has got the outside line now going into Paddock Hill Bend as we come on to the last lap. He's going to have a better exit, possibly. Might think about it down into Druids. He has the line. Tucks it in behind Kobe Lopez, so thinks better of it. And he doesn't need the points at this stage. No point risking sticking it off the road, is there?
No, he's already won the championship. He can do what he likes. I think he could stick it anywhere he wants.
Well, Richard Wilde has slipped past Adam Terry as well. So Terry's now down to 4th place. Still a fantastic result if he can hold on to it, really, for Adam Terry.
Yeah, still great run, and under the pressure from these guys, that's no small feat. So, well done to Adam.
So a little look further down the field as well, while we've got a few seconds on the final lap. Dan Hunt now losing out to Nick McCarron, so McCarron takes 8th, Hunt in 9th. Plumley is in 10th position, being chased down by Ellis Stevens in 11th. Burton is in 13th place, back in the points again. That's good to see, and Nils Jordan might well take his his 15th place point here. And Saltalamacchia is running in 17th, just outside the points, as Robert Fagg rounds out the final corner of this season. So Robert Fagg took the lead early on.
Great drive.
Held it with a great drive, as you say. Wins round 30 at Brands Hatch. Takes the points, takes the win, rounds out the season. Chepolevsky second, Richard Wild third, Terry over the line in fourth, fifth just behind is Simon Field, sixth goes to Koba Lopez, Katz is in seventh, McCarran eighth, Hunt ninth, and Plumley will round out the top 10. So a good finish for Robert Plumley after we were saying he hasn't had a good meeting so far.
Yeah, under some pressure from Ellis Stevens there, good result for him, and yeah, I've got to say again, well done to Rob Fagg, drove a great race there, did a really good job, and top stuff.
Kaiser in the points as well for Dinojet. Burton finishes 13th, Naris, and then Nils Jordan is just coming over the line now to round out the points paying positions in 15th. So that race really at the front of the field was the reverse grid once again made a huge difference, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did, and upended it. But I think it also showed that some of the guys, perhaps in the lower orders, had kept a little back.
Yeah, absolutely. Very impressive result for Robert Fagg. Anyway, that's the way that final race has ended. But can we now go over to the Season 3 iRacing British Touring Car Champion, Andreas Katz? Are you there, Andreas?
Yes, hello.
Congratulations on winning the Season 3 of the iRacing. Tell us how you feel.
I already had champagne in the last race. Very good, very good. I'm so happy you cannot imagine.
It was a long season, wasn't it? And you had very stiff competition in the form of Chepolevsky.
It was very nice. I will never forget this season. It was fantastic, and I'm speechless.
And you didn't win the most races, you didn't score the most bonus points, but your strategy seemed to be finish every race in a good position, even if you don't win.
I watched the last season races very often, and in the last race there was this, Adam Terry and Stevens and so, and I thought, this tactic is the best, and it worked out.
So is it fair to say that you are the Alain Prost of the iRacing British Touring Car Championship?
That's okay. I like this, and you can call me like this, yeah. Good.
Well, fantastic job. And where do you go from here? Because the season will be starting up again in 2 weeks' time. Are you going to be entering that one?
Yes, of course. And this next season, now I have the title. That's good. That was my goal. And next season I will try to fight more and do a little more exciting races.
Well, fantastic work all the way throughout the season, and we're delighted for you as well. So congratulations, and see you back on the track next season.
Yep. Congratulations, Andreas.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all racers. To you, it was very good, and see you next season. Bye. That's
Andreas Katz there, champion of the iRacing British Touring Car Championship.
Reckon he's happy much?
He is thrilled, isn't he? And you can blame him. He's turned up 10 weeks, 30 races, outscored everybody else, and often outperformed everybody else as well.
Yeah, as we said earlier, he's more than deserving champion, isn't he? He's been really consistent, really quick all the way through, and thoroughly deserves that #1 plate.
He does indeed. So this is only the second champion. So after seasons 1 and 2 went to Ellis Stevens, he has been dethroned, although still finishing very highly in the championship. Won't be too disappointed with that. Katz, your season 3 champion. I'm wondering if we might be able to get a quick word with the round 30 winner as well, Robert Fagg. Robert, are you there?
Hello guys, yep, I'm here.
Fantastic job to take that from second place on the grid, and pretty convincingly in the end as well.
Yeah, I mean, I had a bit of speed earlier on in the week in practice, so unfortunately I couldn't replicate it at the start of the season, start of the evening even. But I think I was just lucky I managed to get down round paddock and going into Druids, and unfortunately ran slightly wide and tapped him. But after that it was plain sailing pretty much.
So was it a mistake from Dan Hunt that put him down the order, or was it slight contact?
No, we had slight contact. As we've gone into Druid side by side, I'd gone slightly deeper than I intended to, and unfortunately he came round, leaving enough room as if I was tight to the bend, and unfortunately he just hit the back of my car slightly.
Well, it's still no mean feat to hold on to it from there. Your performance during the season was pretty impressive, to be honest. I mean, are you looking to compete in the next season? And if you are, I mean, how high up can you hope to finish?
Yeah, I'm looking at competing next season. This season I came into it hoping to make the top 10, but unfortunately I missed 3 or 4 races in the end, so had a bit of bad luck in the others. But hopefully I can make all the races next season, and you never know. Top 5 would be nice, but there are a lot of quick guys, especially coming into it, the CQR guys, so I don't know if I'll be able to make the top 5, but maybe top 10 is possible.
Did they pay you for that shout out?
No, they didn't. But,
well, they should have done. That was a very good shout out, and very good result in the final race, so congratulations, and I hope to see you on the track next season.
Thanks very much, guys. Yep, I'll see you next season.
That's Robert Fagg there, the winner of round 30, and he's just mentioning actually some of the guys from CQR are making a serious commitment to this series now. Ashley Sutton, Russell Laidler, and we're seeing Michael Hall around more and more as well. Some of those guys are really quick, and do you think that the top guys from this season will be worried, Matt?
Yes. Genuinely, I mean, if you don't look at the pace of Ashley Sutton and be worried, I think you've got issues. To be honest, I think he's in the couple of weeks he's run, he's been very, very quick consistently, and he's going to be he's a real threat for next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens at the start of the next season, in particular, because we've got so many of these fast drivers starting off. But if Koba Lopez competes, that could change everything, Clyde.
I think Koba Lopez and Ashley Sutton would be a fantastic battle all season. Chepelewski, Katz, Field, they're Richard Wild, they're all capable of upping their game and giving them 2 guys a run for the whole season.
And I think it just goes to show this time round as well that Koba Lopez didn't quite make the incisive impact that we expected. He did win 2 races, which is extremely high standard, but in the last race we didn't quite see him make as much progress as maybe we would have thought. Is that just the other drivers getting faster?
And we still haven't seen anybody win all 3 races in a single session, and that's probably just a reflection of that. It's hard work to get through when the field is this close and the pace is this good. It's hard to get through everybody.
Well, we might well see it next season.
I still think Ashley Sutton's going to do it, though.
Take the championship?
No, he'll be the one that does the 3 races in a day. The thing for me with Ashley is that I think he is the best overtaker out there. I think he can make moves that other people don't. So that's why he'll do the 3. As for the championship, I maybe think he needs to work on his consistency a little more. But
well, we saw that overtaking talent come into play, didn't we? Because Koba Lopez was caught napping almost by Sutton, just slipping past as well. Yeah. So it's all to look forward to. Season 4 will begin in about 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time, in fact, on the nose. So 30th of January will be the next season. Don't forget, if you wanted to race in this season and you have an iRacing membership, you can apply for this. Just make sure you're getting your application nice and early before the grid fills up too much, because it's proving to be a very popular series. We'll be back next season with more, hopefully, exciting commentary, and the lineup for the race schedule anyway has changed quite a bit. Just wanted to give a quick shout out as well to Ellis Stevens and Steve Richardson for organising the championship, taking care of all the administrative side and setting up all the sessions and making sure all the drivers know what they're doing out there on the track, and they run a pretty tight ship.
Yep, it's really interesting to see how it all develops, and I'd be interested. What do you think, Clyde, for next season? Are you going to put your money anywhere?
No, I'll pass on that one. There's too many quick drivers, too many people that can win it. the biggest winner is going to be the driver who can be consistent every week. Have a shit week, game over.
And that winner this time round was exactly the behaviour you described from Andreas Katz, who took Season 3 in some style in the end. And the next time you can see BSR TV will be Monday, when we have the final round of the Skip Barber Series coming from Interlagos. That championship has already been decided and been won by Blake Townend, but nevertheless, those guys will be squabbling out on track with their usual high standards of driving, I'm sure. We've thoroughly enjoyed this season, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been epic, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, and we'll bring you the next season just as soon as it's ready on the 30th of January. Hope you can join us then, but from me, Clyde and Matt, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.